There are creatures in the world that have been discovered by a few people but have not been proven to exist. We call these creatures unidentified mysterious animals, or UMA for short. Hello everyone, welcome to the UMA series of videos. This issue brings you a large mysterious creature from the UK, the Dean Monster of Gloucestershire. Located in the southwest of England, it covers an area of 2,600 square kilometers, has a beautiful environment and developed animal husbandry. In the early 19th century, there were rumors of strange large creatures appearing here. The story goes like this. In 1702, many locals reported that the Dean Forest in the west was being destroyed by an unknown creature. The creature was so powerful that it would push down trees, crush woods, and even destroy surrounding fences. At night, residents around the forest, it can often be heard roaring loudly. Witnesses described it as a wild boar of unusual size, with 1 or 2 pairs of huge tusks and thick black hair all over its body. The creature was later called the Dean Monster. During the same period, wild bears became extinct in Britain. Some speculated that wild bears in Gloucestershire may have become food for the Dean Monster. 5 years later, in 1707, the locals were so annoyed that they formed a hunting team to hunt it. There are some discrepancies in the records of this incident, and some say that a hunter from the village of Pakende hunted it alone. After the hunters checked it later, they all agreed that the captured wild boar did not belong to any species they had seen. Although the author did not find more records describing its morphology, after this incident, the sighting stopped completely. But the creepy roar can still be heard near the villages of Parkend and Blim. Locals speculate that there may be another Dean Monster wandering in the forest. Time flies, and who would have thought that another sighting nearly 2 centuries later would push the legend of the Dean Monster to a new climax? In 1998, 2 locals, James and Marshall Davis, encountered the creature at night while passing through the woods between Parkend and Bream. According to their description, when the incident occurred, the forest suddenly became silent. A low roar of wild animals gradually became louder from far away, and the creature made a rustling sound on the leaves. Then they saw a huge black figure walking out of the woods. They could not describe what they saw. All they knew was that the figure was so huge that it was beyond their comprehension. Fear made them run, but the beast chased them closely until they reached a well-lit road in the village of Pakenda. Immediately, they heard a loud roar from the creature, but the beast did not show up, as if it had just driven them away to defend its territory. More than 2 people were all the sightings of the creature. It is worth mentioning that the image of the Dean Monster appeared in the first season of the 2007 science fiction TV series Ancient Invasion, produced by the British Independent Television. In the show, it was described as a saber-toothed beast that traveled from the Permian period to the present day and entered the city to wreak havoc. By 2011, the show had aired 5 seasons, and the plot was very good. If you are interested, you can search it yourself. In addition, there is actually another sighting of the Dean Monster on Orange News that occurred in 2005, but the description of the creature is very different from the above 2 incidents, so I will not go into details here. At this point, some friends may be worried. It's just a pig. What's there to be afraid of? Here the author reminds you that wild boars are not like domestic pigs. They are extremely aggressive and dangerous, far more than the average weight of tigers and bears of 300 kilograms. At 40 kilometers per hour, they can easily kill an adult, and they are omnivorous animals that eat almost everything, so they often appear near crops. So if you are lucky enough to see a wild boar, don't provoke it, and try to escape to higher places or dense forests that can easily block your view. As for whether the Dean Monster really exists, I believe that you may have your own thoughts after reading this, but I want to tell you that the reason why the witnesses in the 19th century described it as a species that had never been seen before was not because this wild boar was uncommon, but because this large species of wild boar had become extinct in Britain as early as the 13th century. During the same period, wild boars were reintroduced to Britain, but in the 17th century, it became extinct again due to habitat loss and heavy hunting. From the 17th century to the 1980s, There were only a few captive wild boars in the UK imported from mainland Europe as zoo exhibits. Until recently, there have been no free-living wild boars in the UK in the past 300 years. In other words, if the Dean monster really exists, it must have been hiding from the guns of a large number of hunters for a long time. In addition, due to its huge size, food sources are also a big problem. Of course, this kind of giant wild boar creature is not uncommon in other places. For example, in June 2004, a wild boar over 8 feet long and weighing over 800 pounds was shot and killed by a hunter named Chris Griffin in Georgia, USA. They named the wild boar Hogsla, which means a huge pig. In May 2007 in Alabama, an 11-year-old boy named Jamison Stone shot and killed a larger wild boar with a pistol. The pig weighed 1,051 pounds and was 9.4 feet long, a real behemoth. God knows what a non-captive wild boar would have to eat to grow to such a size, and similar reports abound. As for whether the Dean monster that appeared in Gloucestershire in 1998 was a large wild boar, there is still no conclusion. At least in the UK, where non-captive wild boars have become extinct, it has not received official attention. Maybe there are really large species in this dense jungle that we have not yet discovered. After all, the unknown is always greater than the known. Well, this video ends here. Thank you for watching.